Hi there, YouTube. So, like many people, I spent last weekend at Denver Comic Con, and I had a great time. I usually do. I've gone to Denver Comic Con like 3 out of the last 4 years. Shitty way to phrase that. And as you can imagine, with how much of my channel is about cosplay, I went there in costume, specifically like the two I've been talking about in previous videos, my Hyperlight Drifter costume and my Thor costume. Unfortunately, I didn't wear my Hyperlight Drifter one as much as I wanted to. I was really eager to show that one off. But after a couple hours, including, being stuck in line, unable to move, and sweating to death, I took a break, pulled most of the costume off and sat down for a while, and then I found this. This is a battery acid burn. Not a huge burn. Barely qualifies as a boo-boo. So it turns out, with how much I was sweating, a couple things happened. The lights I installed in the forearms didn't have adequate shielding, so I sweat enough to corrode the batteries and cause the batteries to leak onto my skin. So I kind of had to set him aside for most of the con, which bummed me out. I got a little bit of reaction in the time I was out there, but not much, I suppose I didn't expect a whole lot, with Hyperlight Drifter being kind of more of an unknown game. I don't know. I was hanging out with a really awesome Black Mage costume, so, because sometimes people just wanted pictures of the Black Mage, and I'm totally cool with that, but I had a few people kind of acting like I might be butthurt. They're like, no, go ahead and get in the picture. And I'm like, I'm fucking fine if you just want a picture of the Black Mage. It's cool. Really. So, yeah. I spent most of the weekend in my Thor costume. I got a lot of attention for the costume. Nobody was like, oh, well, that looks scruffy, or that looks like it needs work. But yeah, it's scruffy and it needs work. I'm really waiting until like Thor Ragnarok stuff starts coming out. Then I'm going to do some more work on it and probably update it for that movie. So some of the other things I got at the con, being a consumer whore, besides bodily injury, were this Thor figure. Look at him. Look at how fierce he is. And I also bought one of these Steven Universe blind bag figures that aren't even in stores. Whoa. Okay. I got serious Steven. Yeah, besides that, I got this Hatsune Miku figure. I mean, look at how happy she is on the box, and oh. Wow. Why is everything I bought at Comic-Con mad at me? But no, it was a really good time. I got invited to a cosplay nightclub thing by a guy in a Sabretooth costume. Then I got there and they wouldn't let my hammer in the door. Since I didn't have a car, I walked there. I kind of just had to walk back. I heard later that there were Harley Quinns there with hammers and baseball bats. I mean, I'm a big guy, I get it, and it's a pretty realistic looking hammer, but it might hurt somebody once. It will immediately break. And then I missed out on all the other after parties because that was the one I tried going to. I still got a lot of really positive attention, though, especially from the ladies, which is about the way I get attention from women. What? I'm not dressing up as the God of Thunder to impress women. Overcompensating. How dare you? I got a girl's phone number. Man, there was a lot of awesome cosplay this year. Particularly some Overwatch stuff, which is one of the things I was specifically looking out for. I have a little bit of an interest in that right now. And there was an awesome Witcher cosplay, hanging out with a Game of Thrones spoiler cosplay that I didn't take a picture of. But it was like, oh, dude, too soon, man. I'm still coping. A really good red from Transistor. The transistor, by the way, is another video game weapon I really want to build at some point. Uh, Probably using the same plastic I used on my Hyperlight Drifter sword. They're basically the same color. There were a couple other things too that kind of took me by surprise that I suppose shouldn't have. I mean, after all, this is the first major con I've gone to since Undertale came out. So at the time, I, played through it and was watching all the hype on it. I was like, oh, there's going to be a ton of Undertale cosplay. Kind of forgot about it in the intervening, 6 months. Then came back and showed up at Denver Comic Con. I was like, oh, yes. But that was actually one of the super cool things at Denver Comic Con was Olivia Olson, who voices Marceline on Adventure Time, and her dad, who voices Hunson Abadir on Adventure Time, and they work together on other stuff, were there. And Olivia Olson. I didn't have to look that up. What? She was performing at the con, in the center of the main convention hall. So I'm off in the far corner looking at trading cards, and then I hear the song she did for Adventure Time just kind of playing, and I'm like, "Er?" And at first I think it's a recording because it's so perfect. And I kind of follow it, and it's like she's on stage performing. That is so cool. They were also signing books. Not that I got a book signed. I'm not big on meeting celebrities and getting autographs. Not so good with people. Anytime I've tried to get an autograph on anything, it's kind of ended up weird. Because of me, I'm absolutely not blaming the person autographing, but it's kind of weird and, I don't know, unsatisfying. Which is also part of why I didn't ask for Carl Urban's autograph, because Carl Urban is awesome. I just kind of strolled as closely past in my Thor costume as possible in hopes that he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in Thor Ragnarok next year, and this is... That's exactly how it would have gone. I also totally, casually wandered by Stan Lee's signing thing in hopes that he would ask me out for shawarma. Alas, it was not to be. The crowd was so thick I couldn't even see him. This is the first time I've gone to a major convention after I kind of started up this YouTube channel. So I did try to sort of plug it a couple of times, but I felt a little bit weaselly doing so. If anybody's here who heard me recommend this from Denver Comic Con, hello and thank you for humoring me. But it's always kind of fun to sort of network with other people about costuming stuff, since there's not a whole lot of people in this area to talk to about it. Got a few business cards that I need to contact people about. But I suppose that about wraps it up. Thanks for listening to the video, guys. This is part of why I haven't been working on the Hanzo bow. I'm going to try to get right back on that, but I've got a couple things I have to deal with that may slow that down. And there are more videos about how I made Thor on the way, so hold on for those, I guess. Alright, I'll see you guys later.